This is Jeff Live. Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching. We are at the 56th GEF Council meeting in Washington, D.C. We're sitting in the main building of the World Bank. My name is Christian Hofer. I'm doing communications for the GEF. Next to me is our next important guest, which is Rossana Silva Repetto. She is Executive Secretary of the Minamata Convention on Mercury. Hi and welcome. As I just said, we are at the council meeting, which means congratulations, Rossana, because only minutes ago, actually, the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding between the convention and the GEF has just been approved. Can you say a few words about that?
Yes, I can say that. Yes, but I'm very happy. In fact, that the council just approved the MOU, which was adopted by the Conference of the Parties of the Minamata Convention in the second meeting last year. So it's a very important document because it operationalizes our cooperation, because the GEF is one of the components of the financial mechanism for the implementation of the convention. So it really makes provision for how to give effect to those articles in our convention and in the GEF instrument that establish that the GEF will be one of the components of the financial mechanism. So it contains clauses on cooperation, on reporting, on inviting each other to our meetings, on exchanging information, on how we are going to implement our cooperation in the role of the GEF as part of the financial mechanism. So yeah, we have reasons to celebrate. It took a while to have it adopted by the COP and approved by the Council, but finally we have it. So we look forward to start implementing it. In fact, it was established that it would enter into effect after the approval of the GEF. So now it's in effect.
Wonderful. Thank you. So after these technicalities, let's dive into maybe one concrete example. So I would like to talk about gold, which is the global opportunities for the development of artisanal and small-scale gold mining. Exactly. And I think they started with the acronym first, and then they were looking for how to call it.
Gold is nice.
It's nicer, yeah. Okay, that's a program that's financed by the GEF. Can you give me a few details? Not only by the GEF.
Yes, it's like the new modality, an innovative way to support countries comply with conventions, because these programs are global. So as such, they are implemented in various regions of the world, and they have child projects in different countries. So this creates synergies among the countries that are the beneficiaries of the projects, but also the other countries in the respective regions, because there is also a strong component on communications, outreach, and exchange of information. And another advantage of these programs is the fact that they are multi-agency. It's not only one of the implementing agencies of the GEF that will implement the programs, but since the program has different projects, the program is implemented by various agencies. And this is very enriching, because this allows for the getting the best of each of the agencies, all the knowledge and experience in implementing projects, and they work together in the implementation of a bigger umbrella program. Another important component of these programs is the fact that they have very important private sector engagement. So this would also allow private and public sector to work together. And in the case of this gold program, it's very important, because usually small-scale and artisanal gold mining is undertaken in very remote areas, where usually it is communities, indigenous communities, that undertake this activity. So the fact that the private sector is involved is important, because this gold is sold to them. But the private sector would not allow the purchase of gold that has mercury. But it's not. It is really so nice, this project, because it's not that they say, no, we don't buy your gold because it has mercury, but that they rather support these communities to come up with alternatives and still continue extracting gold, but without using mercury. And the private sector is playing an important role here, supporting these communities.
I think it's fascinating. It's really one of my favorite projects. Can we talk about another one, which was also a component here in the work program, which is the Islands project? Because I think you do have an involvement in that big project as well.
Yes, the Islands program is like the Gold program. It's a global program with child projects in various countries across the regions. Again, it has important private sector engagement. It is multi agency, because different implementing agencies implement the different projects, but they exchange and they create synergies by implementing the different projects in the different countries by different agencies. This project in particular aims at avoiding the building up of hazardous chemicals and harmful material, and it also has a component on how to manage in an environmentally sound way the waste and how to dispose of it, which is very important in developing countries, because if you cannot dispose of these harmful materials and you just pile them up, it is really a serious concern. So and the addressees of this program are really the small island developing states. The Islands program involves both POPs, the persistent organic pollutants. This is the Stockholm Convention, and it also addresses mercury, which is the Minamata Convention. So, as I was saying, it will help countries manage these harmful substances and dispose of them in an environmentally sound manner. And what is important, as I was saying, is the fact that the beneficiaries here are small island developing states, which are, you see, for their geography, where they are, how small they are. It is very difficult to address them in single projects, so that's why the fact of having a global project is so important, in particular in this case, which covers islands in different regions of the world.
Would you, if we are looking at GEF 7, right? Would you like to share with us a few of your perspectives of your thinking going forward of how your convention could maybe even accelerate some of our undertakings, and how we could actually help you do better, do more, do faster?
Yes, GEF 7, first of all, is very important for us, for the Minamata Convention, because it represents an increase, a considerable increase in the amount of funding that is going to be made available for mercury in particular, in comparison with GEF 6. And another thing that we really applaud in this case is that it seems that the GEF is going towards these global programs of which we were talking, which are definitely a very innovative way to have a broader scope and broader. They're reaching to more countries and in a more intensive way, which is so important for the implementation of the convention. And we also aspire as having universal ratification of our convention. And this is a job also to which the GEF is contributing a lot, because already with GEF 5 and 6, the GEF was supporting countries and signatories to prepare, to enable them to comply with the obligations of the convention, and this is what promoted the ratification of the convention at its early stages, because the convention is younger than 2 years old. We already have 109 parties, and the GEF continues to play this important role in encouraging countries to become parties, because they know that they will have the GEF supporting them in implementing their obligations under the convention.
Thank you very much.